They earn millions in their 20s, live large, then, a few years after retirement, quietly disappear from the Forbes lists. How does that happen? Today I'll show you the real reasons NFL players blow millions, the myths people repeat, and the small group who turned football fame into lasting wealth. Plus, like at the end, I'll reveal the one mindset shift that separates the players who go broke from those who build empires. You're not going to want to miss that. The paycheck illusion. Most people assume huge contracts equals guaranteed long-term wealth. The reality is messier. Yes, top players can collect hundreds of millions over a career. Modern career earnings leaders top the $300 to $400 million range. But those numbers hide three things: guaranteed versus total contract. Only part of a headline number is guaranteed. The rest depends on seasons played, roster status, bonuses, and injury protections. Short windows of income. The median NFL career is very short, around 3 to 4 years. So many players have a few high-income seasons followed by decades of normal income. Taxes, agents, and team fees. The gross number is not take-home. Teams, agents, and taxes can eat a huge slice fast. Concrete proof. Career earnings trackers show the top earners have pulled in hundreds of millions, but that doesn't translate to lifetime billionaire status for players. Show a graphic comparing headline contract versus guaranteed money versus take-home. Later, I'll show a real contract breakdown that looks glorious on paper, but destroys a player's cash flow if one game goes wrong. How players actually lose millions. There's a pattern to this. It's not always bad luck. It's a predictable set of financial traps. Trap 1. Lifestyle creep. Instant wealth produces instant upgrades. Houses, cars, entourages, flying friends cross-country. Monthly burn skyrockets. A $10,000 monthly habit multiplied by dozens of lavish purchases becomes a ceiling hard to lower when income drops. Trap 2. Bad advisors and scams. Players are recruited before they even hit the league. Unscrupulous advisors, shady investments, and affinity scams have cost players millions. The league and union have programs, but the risk persists. The NFLPA maintains a registered advisor program and resources intended to protect players, but players still occasionally get burned. Trap 3. Salpate. Failed businesses and leverage. A flashy restaurant or startup can look like a trophy purchase, but many entrepreneurs fail. Players often borrow against future earnings or take on loans to fund these ventures. If it goes south, the debt remains. Trap 4. Divorce, taxes, and legal judgments. Multiple marriages, child support settlements, and tax liabilities can slice away millions in a few years. Trap 5. Poor planning for post-football income. A surprising finding from economic research. Going broke is not just for short career players. It hits some longtime stars too. Bankruptcy filings rise after retirement and continue for years. Studies found that about 15.7% of players had filed for bankruptcy within 12 years of retirement. A sobering number that undercuts the all rich forever narrative. At the end, I'll compare two players with similar career earnings. One went broke, the other built a business worth tens of millions. The difference wasn't talent. It was the second best skill every player should learn. Real-world examples. Who blew millions? Stories make lessons stick. Here are representative examples. Not to shame, but to teach. Andre Rison, the NFL star whose career payouts evaporated in the years after retirement, covered in documentaries about athletes who lost fortunes. Vince Young, once one of the highest-paid young QBs, later reported financial distress despite career earnings that many would consider life-changing. A collection of other players who lost millions through a mixture of failed investments, gambling, legal troubles, or mismanagement. Lists compiled by finance outlets and long-form reporting document these cases. Important note: media often focuses on dramatic bankruptcies, which creates a distorted perception. Many former players do well, but the high-profile failures teach the most painful lessons. Coming up, what the successful minority did differently, and the exact checklist you could use to protect millions today. The outliers, players who built fortunes. Not all players blow it. The ones who build lasting wealth share habits and choices. Smart partnerships and brand building. Players like Tom Brady and Russell Wilson leveraged brand deals, media ventures, and equity stakes to create sustained income beyond the field. Investing early and diversifying. Some players moved into real estate, franchises, media, or startup investments. But critically, they treated these as businesses with due diligence, not trophies. Education and trusted teams. Many successful players lean on vetted, registered advisors and create checks and balances around decisions. The NFL and NFLPA run financial education and registered advisor programs to support this. Crucial reality. Becoming a billionaire as a player is exceptionally rare. Most of the wealth at the very top of the NFL ecosystem belongs to owners and franchise families, not former players. Owners like Jerry Jones and other franchise holders sit in the Billionaire Club because team ownership multiplies value in a way player salaries cannot. If you want billionaire status, buying and growing an entire franchise is a different game. In the final section, I'll give you the exact 6-step wealth defense checklist elite players follow, plus the one move that multiplies the chance you never see a bankruptcy court. A practical playbook, how to avoid blowing million. If you're a current player or you know one, this is the actionable playbook the smart ones follow. 1. Budget for life after football. Assume peak income is temporary. Build a multi-year runway, at least 5 to 10 years of living expenses in low-risk accounts. 2. Separate wants from investments. Buy the car for the joy, not as an investment. Real investments should be vetted, documented, and run like businesses with KPIs. 3. Use registered, vetted advisors only. The NFLPA runs a registered player financial advisor program. Insist on advisors who meet those standards and submit to oversight. 4. Build a trusted decision team, a financial planner, tax expert, attorney, and a sober business partner. The day your Instagram lifestyle manager is your CFO is the day risk skyrockets. 5. Avoid highly levered trophy businesses. Restaurants and hospitality are high failure businesses. If you invest, put in small capital, do proper diligence, or take a minority stake and hire experienced operators. 6. Prioritize education and second careers. Yes, the platform is football, but players who earn beyond the field invest time into learning business fundamentals, media skills, or certifications. 7. Estate planning and legal protections. Prenuptial agreements, trusts, and clear contracts protect assets from rapid erosion after life changes. 8. Mental health and transition planning. Financial stress often coincides with identity loss after retirement. Use player support groups and programs like the Trust to plan transition, not just finances. Quick checklist on screen. Runway, registered advisor, diversify, team, education, legal. Bold each item. Here's the mindset I promised. Wealth is a process, not a trophy. The players who protect and grow their money treat money like a team. It needs structure, rules, a coach, and a playbook. They replace instant gratification with long-term systems, budgets, trusted advisors, business diligence, and education. And they lean on union resources rather than lone wolves. If you're a player watching this, start with one thing. Get your financial runway in place and register an advisor through official NFLPA channels. If you're a fan, share this with anyone who thinks athlete paychecks automatically mean lifelong wealth. In the pinned comment, I'll drop a downloadable player wealth defense checklist you can screenshot. I'll also post a breakdown of one contract that looks like a jackpot, but why it can still bankrupt you if you make only 2 mistakes. Click subscribe and turn notifications on. The breakdown drops next.